Five, four, three, two, one. We're live. Hello, Andy. How you doing?
Hi, Carlos. I'm good. You?
Good, good, good. Loving your back screen.
Yeah, you said that last time.
No, but I'm really liking it this time. It looks more professional now with the
Yeah.
microphone out in front of you. Everything. You look
Oh,
like Alex Jones.
no idea who that is. No, I have really. I have really. Um, yeah, yeah, man. I just get better sound quality. I've been struggling all through all these podcasts, mate, with different microphones and things. But you remember this? I got this microphone out on about episode 2, didn't I?
Yes.
Episode 2 or 3. We did the
I
first
used to for a
ones.
bit as well. Yours seems to be okay. Sometimes it's intermittent.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's not.
yeah. I think I've got to make sure I got the pop filter on. I think, but it started being around about episode 6 or 7, something like that. Might have been later than that actually. I started not being very happy with the quality of the sound, but I don't know if it was the microphone or not. But I've been using this now the past couple of podcasts, and it's been okay. So obviously we've not had our faces on screen the past couple of podcasts because
Been in the
sorry, Twitch sessions.
audio.
Yeah, Twitch sessions because we've been doing the audio podcast. Yeah. So cool, man. Doesn't look like anyone's joined us yet, but
It's one of the things.
we'll
It's like
persevere. I can't rely on my stats showing up, to be honest.
well, I've got my eye on the chat room. Also,
Yeah.
uh, football. Oh my god, I wish I didn't like football. I know you're not the biggest fan of football, but my god, it's football's hurt me today. It's like, oh, if I could cry, I'd cry live on live stream. I'd probably get a billion likes or something. It's like watching the football today. I switched it off. Yeah, obviously, those people who watch it, I'm a devout United fan. I'm a season ticket holder, and I turned it off at 4-1. It was just so painful. And then it's like somewhat sadistic, I should say. I just switched it on. It's 6-1. No, 6-1. Oh, I had 4 beers. I must have drank them in like 20 minutes because I just thought I did because obviously I was working today. I thought I'd have a early night. I went to bed straight after match of the day, so it was about 11:30 on a Saturday night. I had 4 beers left. I'll save them for Sunday after the game. And lo and behold, I just drank them 20 minutes. I'm like, oh, like now I'm drinking water now. I'm just
Oh man, I'm.
I wish I could play football.
This looks like beer. Hold on, you can't see it because of the screen. Hold on, we'll put it in my face.
Oh,
There you
that's
go.
it. That's it.
It looks like beer,
What is it?
but
It is beer.
it is beer, but it's non-alcoholic. So
Oh, so you get the impression it's beer.
yeah, it tastes like beer, which is what like I won't drink like. I mean, I will drink it if that's all the serving, but I won't drink like Foster's or Budweiser or whatever. I'm a craft beer type, so there's some nice non-alcoholic craft beers now. So you can get in like Tesco and stuff like that, and Asda, and Morrison's do some good ones as well. But yeah, so they still taste. Obviously, Punk's. Sorry, Brewdog's quite famous, isn't it? You know,
Yes, it's from
Brewdog.
America, isn't it?
I absolutely love Brewdog beers. There's a Brewdog bar not far from where we did the live stream
Like
the
this
other
one in
week.
Manchester, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
on the
absolutely
corner
love
from
Brewdog.
just
There's
off of
really nice
Gate.
beers, but they've also got some really nice non-alcoholic ones now as well. So yeah, they're good as well.
Bobby Shafter says, "Good evening or evening, gents.
Oh,
Good evening,
hi
Bobby,
Bobby. Bobby's
our resident listener."
he is, he is.
Mhm.
Must be something wrong with
Talk
him.
about
He wants to come back and listen to us week after week.
he's oh, he'll have to ask me more questions about the moon. There's so many questions. It's like
Yeah,
he was asking. Obviously, that was it a week ago or a week and a half ago. I
yeah.
had so much for. Obviously, we lost connection and stuff like that. So,
Hey, we
Glenn,
got Glenn's on.
Glenn, good
Glenn,
evening, Glenn.
Glenn. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Glenn.
Go
Um,
back to your go back to what you said regarding your non-alcohol beer.
yeah,
Is I remember once I was said, Carlos, went to a house party. Oh, I was in a taxi. Before you come to us, can you just go to the beer shop and pick up 2 crates of Becks? I went, oh, fucking, I have to detour. Right, okay, detoured, got to like bargain booze, literally 4 minutes to 10 before they closed or whatever the time was, and just says, can I have 2 crates of the Becks there, as you do.
yeah,
So, given the money, get the 2 crates, back of the taxi. I've got my bottles of Jack D and all that kind of stuff.
Was it Beck
Get to the
Zero?
park. They were fucking zero, but everybody was pissed. But
Oh,
as I was helping my mate clean up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, I just realised 0%. But everybody was acting pissed.
yeah.
It's. Do you think it's a mindset that you piss? Obviously, I
Was
know
that
you
the
get
only was
pissed.
that the only alcohol there? There must have
There was
been.
a few shots flying around and stuff
Yeah,
like
there
that.
must have been some other stuff. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I have phases of not drinking and drinking again, and to be honest, through lockdown, not been able to go pubs or anything. So I've not really been drinking. So I've not been buying it in. I've just like that for the taste of it. Just to remind me what beer tastes like.
It's a bit like people who do the vaping and stuff like
Yeah, but when I went away last October, went to Spain. Remember the times when you could still go on holiday?
that.
We went to Spain, and I hadn't been drinking for about a month, and I just had whatever it was on draft, the local stuff on draft, and literally 2 pints, and I was like giddy. Yvonne's like, "Oh yeah, you're pissed," but and I was after 2 pints, but the next day I was fine. The next day I could find I was drinking like 6 or 7 again. You know what it's like on holiday. You start early. It's the sun. You just keep downing them because it's cold in it. So refreshing, but
It's one of the things, but it's like I can sometimes. I was at a funeral the other day, and after about 2 or 3 beers, seeing old friends, as you do with funerals, you get to see people you've not seen for years. After 2 or 3 beers, I just felt pissed. Whereas usually going out on a Saturday night, I usually can sing 8, 9 pints and I feel okay. It's just
yeah.
where it depends on the circumstances or who you with at the time.
Well, you'll be asleep at the end of this podcast, man, by because you've just had a few.
Literally,
But
I had literally 4 beers left, and I must have sank them in 20 minutes. I was just,
yeah,
oh, I was literally, if I could cry now, I'd cry. Literally, United getting beat 6-1. It's absolutely destroyed, man. It's
oh
destroyed.
no worries. I've got any United fans in the chat room. Tell us who you support. But it's all love in this channel. We're not bothered
All
really
love,
who
it's
you
all love.
support. All right, I'll
Spiritual.
kick off with the intro. And yeah, get into it. So, hi TheoCons, welcome to the Theory Conspiracy. It's Sunday, the 4th of October, 2020. Uh, this is Carlos, and I'm Andy, and we
Hello.
host a fortnightly audio podcast. This is our live stream uh, side piece, as it were. Um, we welcome any chat room interaction, and if you want to add your opinion or pull us up when you think we're talking rubbish or ask us anything that comes to mind, we'll try our best to answer. This time, we're going to talk about Trump's infection. I've got a question for the chat room. I've got a film review. King Gilgamesh,
Yeah,
worrying, and the speed of light. So a few random ones there. Oh,
definitely something I want
Glenn
to
says
talk
he's a
about.
Gooners.
He's a good. They won 2-1 today, so he's all right then.
And yeah, you're gonna have to tell me what football team that is.
That's the Arsenal Football Club.
Arsenal, is it? Oh, yeah.
I'm the
Cool.
football fanatic on here. Andy's the film fanatic.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So
So the Trump thing,
yeah,
obviously
Donald
just on
Trump. Yeah,
double Trump is Donald Trump. Obviously, when it was it yesterday or the day before, he was diagnosed with COVID with his wife, the first lady. Um, Depends on which newspaper or what news outlet you read or watch. Donald Trump had won the debate or he'd lost the debate massively, and a few people have been sending me messages from America, from England, and so forth about. Do you think a few people says? Do you think he was poisoned, or do you think he was did the COVID because of a sympathy vote? A bit like the Boris Johnson. They were using Boris Johnson as an example. Was it a sympathy vote? A few people have been saying like the Russians are trying to influence their elections by fair enough by poisoning him, but I don't believe that. But that's a lot of the rumors what's flying around at the moment. I'm just thinking, do you
yeah.
think he would do something like that, or do you think that's somewhat possible, or even not even
Of,
possible?
I mean, would the Russians poison him? I mean, given that there's rumors, we only spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. There's another potential poisoning of another former Russian spy. Uh, yeah, without wanting to get the wrath of Vlad on us. Yeah, he probably did. who knows? But no, but if they were going to poison him, surely it'd be poison, and not COVID. I mean, the latest news today is like as of 3 hours ago when the news was on. Doctors were coming out confirming that he'd had a couple of blasts of oxygen to get him. Apparently the president insisted he didn't need it, but the doctor sort of convinced him, oh yeah, just give it a try. And Trump's also said he's trying these miracle drugs that are coming on the market, and these miracle drugs are coming soon. And but then also the news then literally accused the White House of staging a couple of photographs. So a couple of photographs came out of him sort of sitting at a desk at the hospital,
Yeah, doing the
and it
presentation and stuff like that.
yeah, well, one of them was signing some documents, and they zoomed in on the piece of paper, and it said apparently the president's signing a blank piece of paper. I mean, the angle of it, it's so narrow. The angle, you couldn't really tell what was on, but you could see him scrawling a big black signature on it. So maybe the text was in a very small font or something.
So do you think it could
Yeah.
be some kind of like a sympathy vote?
Um. Yeah. I mean, as soon as I heard the news, and I'll come back to Bobby's comments in the chat room in a sec. Uh, as soon as I heard the news, I
Well,
literally,
7-2, that's what I started laughing, 7-2.
uh, as soon as I heard the news, I literally pinged you and Nick, didn't I? The
Yes.
news, and then I also followed it up about 10 minutes later with just some made up conspiracy that I made up off the top of my head. And already Nick was coming back with, "Oh yeah, 2020 is crazy, man." I'm like, as if not even questioning this stuff that I was coming out with. And
Yeah,
then later that
I
day,
didn't
he
believe
went,
it though. I didn't believe it.
"You didn't." I know. I wish I'd waited for your response, but
I looked at
apparently
it, that's not real.
Nick came back with me. Nick came back with me the later that afternoon and went, Andy, apparently the news is saying some of the stuff you're saying. I'm waiting for him to quote you as the source.
And
So
then the source. No,
yeah,
it's just it's one of the things where because I watched the debate and I got a funny feeling it was more edged towards Biden rather than Trump because obviously Trump wants a battle like he did with Hillary Clinton. It was like a battle, like a freestyle. Obviously,
yeah,
with Joe Biden or Sleepy Joe as he calls him, that won't be able to work. So what Donald Trump was trying to do was interrupt him in the 2 minutes. So take him off his
rhythm.
rhythm. That's it. Take him off his rhythm. So that's what I thought. It may be a some kind of sympathy vote because when Boris Johnson was diagnosed with COVID, his ratings went through the roof. So people say, "Oh, listen, oh, he could die, he could die. He's gone to the ICU. Oh, I love him, I love him." Or I hope he's okay. Hope his wife, who's pregnant, is okay, and vice versa.
Yeah,
Um, so do you think Donald Trump could be the? I'm not saying Donald Trump himself, but his people could be saying, "Get that sympathy vote, get that sympathy vote."
yeah. Well, you never know. You never know. They do play dirty games. I mean, Biden's turned around today and said, "Right, I want all the negative stuff," because we don't really do that over here, do we? They don't really intentionally slag off the opposition, do they? I mean, they do get some slide digs in,
Yeah.
but in America, it is like a slanging match in it.
Well,
Um,
it's all changed when I think JFK against Nixon, and when Nixon was winning it until he come on live on TV. That's when JFK completely destroyed him, and JFK completely won the
uh,
presidency that year as well. So that's what they do. They want the Americans want their president to be not only have a presence but be able to stand pressure and deliver. So it's where they want everything. They want everything. Where we the British, we want our prime minister to be someone who is usually Christian, obviously with a family, has certain morals, and obviously with experience. That's all the people we vote for. I don't think we'll ever vote for a prime minister who's single and an atheist. I don't think we'll ever vote for anyone like that. When
yeah,
I say we, I mean society.
yeah. I know what you mean. I know what you're saying. Um, Bobby says publicly, I'd say for the campaign cure, he will come out okay and claim his blood plasma is the cure. Yeah, he's claiming all sorts of miracles at the moment. And Glenn says it's definitely all for the campaign. He's a proper showman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought that.
yeah,
So we're all on the same. They're all on the
yeah,
same level there. But it'd be
yeah.
interesting because the next debate's on the 15th of October. If he's alive and kicking for that, you have to think, oh my God, there was nothing wrong with him. If
Can
he
you?
cancels it, then there
Yeah.
might be something there.
can you imagine if he died from it or if his wife died from it? I mean, as soon as people were saying it, they were like, "Oh my god, you know, he's in his 70s. He's not in the best shape. He's probably really tired because he's doing a campaign." But you know, it seems like he's coming through with it all right. I mean, it all seems a bit quick for my liking. Like he was diagnosed, and now he reckons he's recovering all right. It's like what in like 3 days? You're sort of making a bit of a. I mean, how long was Boris out for?
About 2 weeks, Boris, or two or
Yeah,
three
yeah, I
weeks.
know. Which is like your normal recovery.
Well, don't you
You
remember
know.
Tom Hanks? Tom Hanks was recovered within 8 days. Tom Hanks. I know
Yeah,
that's a different conversation, but
yeah, yeah,
do you remember he was diagnosed and he was in Australia or New Zealand, correct me if I'm
yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
And then he literally within 7, 8 days, oh, I'm fine. He started putting all these cryptic messages on there, and that's when all them rumors started flying around about Tom Hanks and
yeah,
XYZ.
yeah.
But no,
It's
it's one of the things where obviously the group talking about being a proper showman. Yeah, it's a showman. There'll be a sympathy vote, and I think his ratings will go through the roof. And I think the next debate it'll be like, oh my god, you were down in the dumps, and look at you now, you've risen like the
yeah.
phoenix. And that's what always happens.
Do you think? Do you think this is going to make all these people that think COVID is a conspiracy and it's not a real threat? Do you think it's going to change their opinions? I think it's going to make matters worse. I think they'll find a way to use this as an excuse
As in
and
what way?
just to just be. I don't. Well, I don't know. So obviously our podcast came out, uh, episode 9 about COVID,
Yeah.
episode 3. If anyone's who's listened to this has listened to that. I'm not talking about the guys in the chat room right now, but you know anyone that does come and listen to this or watch this video later on. Um, but off the back of that, a lot of people that were firing those sort of questions at me, you know, I sort of went back to them with my answers that I gave you for, you know, and they just come back with more and more crap and just more reasons. I mean, I got sent a letter about yeah, 500 doctors in the US had signed this letter and sent it to Trump and I read through the whole thing and I went, "This isn't actually talking about COVID. It's talking about the damage that lockdown is doing on vulnerable sectors," which I totally agree with, which I've discussed in the podcast. Obviously, they didn't listen to the podcast, so
I
so they
think
didn't get.
COVID will divide people. You'd either be in that camp where you think it's you're going to die, or you think it's a. Not, I'm not saying that's a hoax, or you think it's
Yeah,
not as bad as people think it. Saying that's the thing
yeah.
I'm thinking about
That's
COVID.
it. No one's thinking logically. No one's going, okay, you might not die. It's like you get cancer, you might not die from it, right? You get COVID, you might not die from it. No one's, you know, no one's saying you are definitely going to die and you're definitely not going to die. But it's the people that are saying, yeah, but so many people die from flu a year and there's less people dying from COVID. And it's like, that's just not true when you look at the numbers and things like that. It just annoys me anyway. But
What
I just wonder whether they're going to use this Trump now as more evidence. Oh,
that
well,
is
he was all
yeah.
right. He was only ill for 24 hours and now he's fine again.
The thing is, I would ask people is like, if the virus is obviously I'm just generalizing, paraphrasing it. If the virus is really as bad as the scientists and some of the politicians are saying, say for example, there's a 25% chance you can get COVID and die. Just for example, I would say
Well, we
to
did the
most
numbers. It's 1 in 67. When we did the numbers the
one
other
in,
week, 1 in 67 it
one in
is.
67,
Yeah.
I'm just throwing some figures out. I
Compared
would
to
say
1 in 1,000 for flu. Just throw that in. Go on.
I was just saying that if like
Sorry, 1 in
if you said
10,000, I think.
if you said that to a person, if I said to a parent, a mother or father, there's a 1 in 69 chance your child would die because obviously there's a poisonous rattlesnake in your back garden. Would you let your child play in that back garden? Every one of them would say no.
Exactly. But if you said it was one, it's for flu. It's 1 in 100,000, isn't it? I think it was. You know, but if you said it's a 1 in 100,000 chance,
That's the thing. What
that's yeah, yeah,
confusing? Because some people say some people that might they're locking themselves away. I won't say bunkers, but literally they
yeah,
don't go out. No connection to the outside world. Working from home. Other
yeah,
people think that's it's back to 2019. I'm not doing anything about it.
yeah,
But obviously, we could go on forever about this one.
yeah.
We did a whole debate for about 2 or 3 hours on Sunday, which you had to edit for about 3 hours or
Oh
something.
yeah, it was a 2.5 hour conversation. It took me ages. In fact, I'll probably go into editing secrets on our next podcast. So Yeah, the
What
next one's Wednesday. We're recording it live, aren't we? The last episode for season 1. So
season?
yeah. Let me
So can you
ask a
say
question.
film? Who's a film review? You say you're going to say? Is that
Hold
what you're
on,
going
let
to
me
do?
ask it. Yeah, I'll ask a question to the chat room. So you could, guys, you can answer this. When you answer it, just so we know you're answering this question and not something else random. Just put Q and then your answer. Um, which this is for you as well, Carlos. We'll let everyone think about it and then we'll come back to it. Which body part do you wish you could detach and why? And we'll come back to that. So have a think about that, chat room. Let us know what body part you wish you could detach and why. You could think about that as well, Carlos. So yeah, film review. So eventually got around to watching Bill and Ted Face the Music. Laughed more than I thought I would at some of the stupid stuff. I must have been in a giggly mood. Um, the end was very predictable. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I'm not a big fan. But
Is it worth watching though?
if you like the first two, probably. If you like the first two, yeah. Um,
I can't
yeah,
remember it.
it's all the same. Yeah, well, I've watched them both, but it's not. I wasn't a big fan back in the day. But more importantly, MGM have announced that they're delaying 007 film again.
So
No
till
Time to Die.
2021.
It. Sorry, say that again, Carlos.
2021.
Yeah, they're pushing it back again next year, and because of that, literally Cineworld are saying that you've killed us. Basically, we're gonna have to shut all our cinemas in the next 1 or 2 weeks. All our cinemas are gonna have to close because there's
Because that's
literally
the main. That's the
there's
money
nothing.
basically.
Yeah, it's really peed me off that first of all, MGM have already delayed it. Fair enough, I can understand why they did it, but they've set this date. Now, one film's been out, and it's still running now in the cinema. I understand that not so many people are going to cinema and fewer people can go in a cinema at any one time, so it is going to affect your box office. But I don't understand why everyone that wants to go and watch a film will go and watch that film, right? Won't they? If an Avengers comes out, everyone that wants to go and watch that Avengers film will go and watch it. Same with Bond, same with anything, right? Now, why don't they just put it in there and just let it run until the showings drop off? Why do they have to have this hit in the first weekend or the first couple of weeks so they can say what a big blockbuster is? Times have changed now, and literally they're crippling cinemas by not doing this. Um, I think it's absolutely dreadful what they're doing. So the cinemas they say there's a couple of big blockbusters coming out in December, and the cinemas are saying we can't hold on. We can't hold on. We've opened all our cinemas. We've geared all our staff back up for a big weekend in November.
But
And
the government not helping these entertainment industry as well. The government not helping
no,
people.
I don't think they'll help them. But
Nightclubs are, and it's in the same probably industry, but nightclubs and all that's being destroyed.
yeah,
It's completely the 2021 will be a totally different world. The way we practice
yeah,
our
yeah.
lives, what we do for social lives and stuff like that.
I'll be
So
surprised if cinemas can reopen because they're saying, look, okay, we might reopen next year, but some of the smaller cinemas ain't going to
no,
open.
they'll collapse.
Yeah,
I'm probably the worst person to talk about it because I've not been to the cinema. I think the last time I went to the cinema is probably to watch Avatar. That's the last time I went to the cinema. What was that, about 10 plus years ago? That's the last time I
yeah,
went to the pictures.
yeah,
As you can see, I buy loads of vinyl. I love vinyl, so I'm sort of old school that way.
yeah, yeah, man. Well, if you're old school, you should go to cinema, man. But Glenn says it's all about the moolah. Yeah, it is. It is all about the money, but the way I see it, and I tweeted this to MGM earlier. I said, look, if you are going to kill cinema off when you do release it next year, those cinemas aren't going to be around to show it. You're going to kill the industry. Therefore, you're not going to get. Okay, you're not going to get the books that you want releasing it now. You're not going to get the books you want releasing it next year because you're killing the industry off. All these cinemas aren't just going to come back to life for Bond, and I don't blame Cineworld for maybe what's it called when you sort of ban something? When you refuse to put it on. I mean, it might hurt them to do it, but I think they should. What's it called? When you boycott? Yeah, I think
Cinema, you mean? Blacklist.
yeah, yeah, blacklist boycott. Yeah, I think they should boycott it. I think
Boycott.
they should do what I did to Sky One. So about 10 years ago,
So I lost
I you lost me.
shows.
Yeah, I'm losing your audio a bit, Carlos. This is
Losing there,
double
mate. Look,
WebEx.
Andy, you still there?
I am still there. Are you back? Are you back? Are you back? I'm still here.
What's it? You got me?
Yeah, I've got you.
Hello,
Yeah.
Andy? You still there?
Yeah. Can everyone hear us in the chat room? I'm
Is it me
still
or
there.
you? I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't know. Are we back now?
Still there?
I am still here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I can hear you.
All right.
Yeah,
You
that's it. You
see
just
me?
chopped it up a little bit badly.
All right. Okay. Bobby says it's all good. All good. So just struggle through,
Oh, it's just
Carlos.
from because you go.
Struggle through.
Do.
It'll be WebEx, man. It'll be WebEx. It's not reliable. We keep chopping changing
I
the
listen to our conversations
yeah we keep chopping the video stuff. What was I saying then, guys? What was I saying?
about. You said something about boycotting. I
Oh,
lost
that
you.
was
You
it.
lost you on
Oh,
boycotting.
yeah, the way I boycott. So about 10 years ago, I used to absolutely love Stargate SG-1, and um, oh, I can't remember. I can't remember where it was, but it was sort of like mid Stargate SG-1, and Sky turned round to Virgin Media and went, right, it's renewal time. We're going to charge you double what we charge you for the Sky One channel, and because what happens is Sky sell their channels to Virgin, Virgin sell their channels to Sky, and it's all a price. So Sky turned around and said, right, your contract's up, we're going to renew it. For Sky One, we're going to charge you double what we're currently charging you, and all your channels that we buy off you, we want to pay you half for all your channels that we do. So like Dave used to be a Virgin channel. Now Virgin, after this happened, Virgin got rid of all their channels, and just got rid of, and they didn't want to be a TV producer, so they sold Dave. Um, but because of it, Virgin turned around and said, "You look worried, Carlos. Can you hear me?"
Because I'm losing the pictures. You're stuttering. Then I'm losing your picture.
All right. I don't know. Maybe it's the internet your end. Turn your telly off.
It's everything. I'm trying to listen
Oh,
because you were just chopping up. Then your picture chops out.
all right. No worries, man.
I can hear you. Now. You're back with me now.
Oh, is it? Is
I
it?
was
Yeah.
trying to listen. You were just chopping up. That's why I was trying
Sorry, man.
to
All right.
listen.
No worries, man. So yeah. So basically, they went to Ofcom, and Ofcom ruled that Sky weren't allowed to do what they did. We got the uh, Virgin got the Sky One channel back, but what Sky did is they pulled all the good content because that was their flagship channel, and they created a new channel, didn't they? Called Sky. What was all Game of Thrones on? What was all that on Sky
Uh, Atlantic.
Atlantic?
Sky
That was it.
Atlantic.
So that Sky Atlantic is now their flagship channel. So that's what they did to get around. So when Stargate came back, I boycotted it and went, nah,
It is a great channel, though. It's a great channel. That.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm on Virgin, so I've never had it. So yeah, no, that's cool. Um, so Bobby Shafter says, "Is the Bond film actually ready to come out tomorrow if they wanted to?" Yeah, it's all done and dusted. It's been done. It was ready to come out about 2-3 weeks after we went into lockdown. So all the editing was already done. It's literally sat there in cans or whatever, ready to be shipped to the cinemas. But obviously they're not going to do that.
What Top Gear meant to be coming out this year as well. Top Gun, I
Top,
should say.
yeah, Top Gun with Clarkson and Hamster. That'd be funny. A
It's
funny
Top
one.
I did say Top Gear, I meant Top Gun.
That's the
That was meant
blockbuster.
to come out this year, wasn't
That's the blockbuster supposed to come out in December, but
it?
can't speak now.
On HMV as well.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You are
So
chopping up, Andy. I don't know if it's me or you. You're chopping up really bad. I
I don't
can't
know.
see
Can
anything.
everyone hear? Can everyone hear me? Okay, in the chat room.
Must be. It might be just
Yeah,
me then, because it's short
yeah,
vision and stuff like that. But
yeah.
obviously, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good man, good man. It's all good. So it's our PCs, and it's something to do with our PCs or our Wi-Fi connection or something.
It might be,
Um,
or it's WebEx. So where the WebEx meeting goes through its own set of servers. It could be that. but
completely
I
agree.
don't see why. That should come through. Glenn says it's all good at their end, so I think it's
Well,
your
that's good.
machine because you're a bit choppy for me as well.
Okay, so
So yeah, yeah,
it's probably the NSA watching me probably again.
yeah. You are blacklisted for sure, man. So King Gilgamesh,
Gilgamesh. Yeah,
he's a
because it's
Gilgamesh. He's the bad guy out of Smurfs, isn't he?
I don't know. I never watched the Smurfs, me.
My daughter
But
has over and over and over.
the one I watch is obviously the what I've read is King Gilgamesh because obviously due to history and all the poems I've read from old Mesopotamia, King Gilgamesh. I think we've spoken about this on our social media forums where giants used to roam the earth many years ago. So like you're talking about 7, 8 BC, old Mesopotamia, the birth of our civilization. I was reading the old poems of the Epic of Gilgamesh and some of the old literature, and they're talking in being like 18 feet tall, roaming the earth with all these giants and stuff like that. So this is documented, and it wasn't myth. It wasn't like sort of like fantasy. It was factual from the way people write it. The kings, he was like descended from the stars. He was 18 feet tall and that kind of stuff. So do you think? Obviously, you watched the is it Curse of Oak Island? They've done
Yeah,
things like where they found giant skeletons and stuff like that. So do you think these giants roam the earth, or do you think it's all myth, or all that kind of Sinbad?
I
Because I
don't
believe,
know. I mean,
so
go on.
it's just I believe giants roam the earth.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen stuff, and I definitely think we need to go in this on a podcast. I've seen stuff where people have presented like bones and stuff, but have it's like when that guy said he discovered the missing link, and he basically melded two different skull types together, and it was found years later that he was like just defrauding the scientific community because he'd
Oh, there's always going to be defrauders. Always going to be
yeah, yeah,
defrauders. But
yeah,
but if you to ask you as a person who's open minded, do you think when I say giants, some people like 12 feet, 13 feet,
yeah.
14 feet roam the earth?
Uh,
If dinosaurs existed, could we have had some kind of version of human Homo sapiens which roam the earth that
yeah.
size?
I don't know. I, d- I don't know. I mean, because the evidence for dinosaurs comes from like the fossil records we've found, and do you know we've only found like it's something like less than 200 different dinosaurs. It's not a lot when you think about it. You think about how many species are on the planet right now. Thousands, absolute thousands of
Millions,
them.
millions and
Well,
millions.
yeah, um, yeah. You're right. Millions of different species, yet we've only found like something like 190 something species of dinosaurs. Dinosaurs. But so who knows what? Who knows if you could? I always think about that. If you could time travel back, could you go back there and you would just see? Well, first of all, you'd see exactly what these look like. Because again, I mean, some dinosaurs have been debunked now, aren't they? Because literally,
Yeah.
you don't find whole dinosaurs. You find them in bits, and they're just like, well, this bit bone fits this bone, and this bone fits this bone. And they were putting it together, and it was these absolutely massive dinosaurs, and they were going, oh yeah, that's a bit wrong. And they were putting like teeth or claws or stuff on the head and stuff. So it'd be
But we
interesting
do
to
know
go
that
back and
dinosaurs
see.
did exist.
Oh yeah, I don't disagree
That's the
with
thing
that.
we do
I
know.
don't. Oh yeah, of course, man. It's what 7-year old kid doesn't wish dinosaurs are still alive, man? Do you know what I mean? Uh,
Jurassic Park could exist. Who knows?
yeah, yeah,
I just find it fascinating because it's sort of like it's like if you read the Book of Enoch and the where God descends 200 angels to earth. Can you still hear me?
yeah,
Yeah, when God descends 200 angels to the earth as punishment, but these were all giants and they interbred with humans. But these
yeah,
don't have to be angels, these could be ETs.
yeah.
But that was in the Book of Enoch, which was
They could
part
be
of the Bible,
aliens.
but it was part of the Bible, but it was like all good books, it was edited out because they say
Yeah.
humans will never be able to understand this.
Just want to say thanks to Jonesy for he's just raided us with a party of 10. So thanks, guys.
Cheers. Cheers,
We've
Jonesy.
just yeah. Carlos is just talking me through, asking me whether I think that giants lived back
On the earth.
roaming the earth. Yeah, yeah. Um, the problem I have with this literature this documented literature, like the Bible, is that the Bible was written 200 years after
Well, you got the
Jesus
Old
died.
Testament, you got the New Testament. So yeah, the
Yeah,
Old Testament was 4000 BC. You got
yeah,
the New Testament, which is written from Christ. So when we start AD BC, so from the start of
yeah.
year
But there's,
zero.
there's no, there's still no written records of it. It was all stories and myths and legends knocking around. And obviously, you know how Chinese whispers can happen, don't you? But I
Oh,
don't know, man. I don't know.
yeah,
I've seen these oldie photographs of people. These Americans stood there with a spade at the side of this grave that they've just exposed, and it's got this giant skeleton in it. But yeah, I think definitely let's stick that on the podcast list and come back to it. I think.
oh, definitely, we definitely have
Yeah,
to go back to that because
yeah,
obviously we had a big debate on it on our social media forums as
yeah.
well.
A question for the chat room for the new viewers. Let me just get this in. We'll answer this now, Carlos. Right? Which body part do you wish you could detach and why? So, do you want me to, I'll give you my answer if you're still thinking about it, Carlos.
Go on.
Mine would be like your eyeball. So, mate, you could detach it and you could like leave it looking in a room or something and walk away and come back, and you could watch what was going on in the rooms. It'd be like an eye, but I can't see a reason why you'd want to detach your arms or legs or anything. So yeah,
Or I do the opposite, ears, so you can leave
oh,
it somewhere and you can listen into conversations.
you can just get another mobile phone
You can get
and
a
put it on
dictaphone.
silent, and you can just strap it to the bottom of a desk and then
You
call
just
it and
you
listen.
just say, what's this here doing on the wall,
Yeah.
Carlos?"
I know, I know. Mind you, I suppose I could do the same thing with one of them little teddy bear things, couldn't you?
You can just
Oh,
sort of
yeah.
like a drone kind of thing.
Bobby Shafter says your brain, so you could go away and have a good think.
That's true, yeah. It's like sometimes you don't need, or you do need your brain, but sometimes your brain overthinks things, and you just think it's like the brain's it's a wonderful tool, but sometimes it can do damage to you by overthinking scenarios and creating things that don't exist or problems that don't exist. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's it. That
Oh, Bobby Shafter, that comes right onto my next thing, that we're going
worrying.
to talk about. But yeah, yeah. Don't know if anyone else has got a comment in the chat room. We'll come back to it if anyone has. Yeah, worrying, Carlos. I said I was going to mention worrying on this. You're like, what do you mean worrying? What do you mean worrying? So, uh, this is a rhetoric question. I'll ask you a question in a minute. But Carlos, are you a worrier? I think I'm a worrier. It's a rhetoric. Do you know what rhetoric means?
So yeah, yeah, you don't
All
answer
right.
back.
I know. I'll ask you in a minute. Uh, so yeah, I'm a worrier. But almost 500 years ago, there's a guy called Michel de Montaigne. Um, he said, "My life has been full of terrible misfortunes, most of which never happened." So yeah, Carlos, I am asking you now for real, right? So, are you a worrier? And what do you think he meant by that?
Uh,
What do you think he meant by it?
I do worry, but not to the point where I'm a great analyzer of things. I analyze problems or solutions or things what have gone wrong. What could I do differently? So is that worrying? I don't know, but I do analyze things and I do overthink things. Is
Are
that
you?
classic worrying?
Yes, I think
I
so. Are
don't
you?
get
Are you?
stressed.
Are you
I
thinking
don't get
about?
stressed.
Are you thinking about the past? How you could have done something differently?
Yes, but
Are
that's
you?
not. I won't class that as worrying. Is that
No, you can.
analyzing?
No, you can still worry. Well, yeah, I suppose so. But you can still worry about stuff that's happened because, yeah, because there's nothing you can
I
do
do
about it.
analyze. I'm a great
Yeah,
analyzer. I do postmortems, if you want to call it that way. So
yeah,
I do analyze things and I reflect what would I have done differently if I did scenario A. Would that have worked out, or scenario B? Is that worrying? I don't worry. I don't get stressed. I don't
yeah.
suffer stress. I work better under when I get put under pressure. That's when I deliver, and I've proved it in so many situations where when the shit hits the fan, that's when I wake up. Whereas
That's when
most
you get the
people,
Kleenex out.
where's what? Sorry.
That's when you get the Kleenex out.
Technically, that's when I deliver. Whereas most people crumble, I don't crumble. That's when I deliver.
Right.
When the shit, when it's like you have to have it by X, Y, Z, da 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 da, and I deliver.
Yeah. Well, I think Montaigne was definitely referring to like things in the future. Because he sort of said his life has been full of terrible misfortunes, but most have never happened. So the reason I brought this up is there's actually been a study done. I think it was done about 4 years ago now, where subjects, well, the results came out 4 years ago, Obviously, it took a while to do this study. So the subjects in the study were asked to write down their worries over an extended period of time, and 85% of what the subjects worried about actually never happened, which meant that 15% of the things did happen. But of that 15%, a further 79% of that, they discovered that actually uh, they were able to handle the situation a lot better than they thought, um, and or that it actually taught them a difficult lesson that they thought was worth learning. Uh, so when you add those two figures up, it means that only 3% of stuff you worry over is actually ever going to happen. And it's just your own fearful mind punishing you with exaggerations and misinterpretations, if indeed you do.
You
Um,
create problems for yourself and stuff like that.
yeah, if you do worry about stuff. Um, so yeah, yeah, I'm quite logical, and even though I know there's no point in worrying about the past, you said you're worried about the past because you can't change it. I also know there's no point in worrying about the future because it's not happened yet, and you don't know what's going to happen. And it's so easy to say that, but you know, if you're a planner, I think I'm a planner. I like to plan ahead, whether it's holidays, itineraries on holiday to make sure you get the most out of it, or whether it's something to do with my job, or whether it's the podcast or the live stream. Yeah, and you can plan ahead as much as you want, but then your Wi-Fi drops and it's all goes to crap, doesn't it? You can't plan for that sort of stuff.
Things like that, just you call it. It is what it is. Shit happens.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm a great sort of tactician. I read a lot of the people who've sort of been following our podcast. Realize that I read a lot of books on military warfare. The amount of books I read on war generals, how they deliver their tactics to their leaders, what they do. Sometimes in life you have to go full in. Sometimes you just have to retreat, observe. So when I treat my life like a military warfare, so sometimes I go full in, sometimes I have to sit back, accept I'm going to lose that battle, and then reevaluate and go back in later on with better information, better knowledge. So the way I train my life is always a bit like military. I don't know why. It's because my mum on my mum's side, all her brothers were all high-ranking naval officers in the navy. So maybe I've got that kind of gene where it's all about military tactics. Even though my father wasn't military, but my dad was very military style. You wake up in the morning, you do your bed straight away. You put your clothes this way, you put your shoes that way, you fold your jeans that way. So I was always had that kind of military
that's a bit like
style.
conditioning, that man.
Maybe it is, but because they brought up very sort of strict, and because obviously my father's family they were all military as well, so maybe it's sort of embedded into
Yeah,
you.
yeah, man.
But I don't worry. I over analyze. I don't know if that's the same thing though.
Yeah, we might have to start calling you General Garcia for the rest of this podcast, mate.
I, I like that General Gas. Yeah, I
I
like
knew
that
you'd
one.
like. I knew you'd like that one. I knew you'd like that, General. Okay, Jen. Uh, all right, man. Yeah, my last one was I wanted to chat about the speed of light. Um, I've been watching too much. Been listening to too much Neil deGrasse Tyson, I think.
As you do.
But so yeah, so the speed of light in a vacuum is 186,000 miles an hour.
No, per
Sorry,
second.
miles
Per
per
second.
second. Sorry, yeah, you're absolutely right. Miles per second. Obviously, it's the fastest. It's the limit of the speed. It's the limit of the universe, and it's the fastest known thing in the universe. There's several scientific studies that have, proven that we can't go faster
We
than
can
that.
go faster outside the universe because the universe was created faster than the speed of light.
Yeah, that probably goes back onto stuff me and Jonesy started talking about earlier on his stream. So, did you know though you could slow the light down? So, did you know that when it passes through anything that's transparent, translucent, uh, that's denser than the vacuum of space, you slow light down. So, for example, as
So I
light,
lost it. You just I lost it there. And
yeah. So I was saying, did you know you could slow light down as it passes through transparent like objects?
so
Carlos
I'm
can't
losing you.
hear
And
me
you said
again.
you could slow the light down, and I lost you.
All right, can you hear me now? You're
So I
freezing
can
up
hear
at
you now.
your
You're
end.
talking about
All
the
right.
if you can slow the light down and allow
Yeah,
heat.
light. Well, your light actually slows down as it passes through things like our atmosphere or like through glass.
Yeah,
You hearing me? You hear me? Yeah. So, for example,
yeah, I can
uh,
hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
like for example, I mean, a lot of our glass is like Windows. It's very thin, but for example, like fiber optic cables. That's basically it's glass and it's layered to create as like a slow inner core that light travels down. And in fiber optic cable, light moves 60% of the speed of light through a fiber optic cable. In fact, I think diamond is because it's diamond is so dense. Uh, Light moves at 40% as fast through diamond as it does in space. Uh, and also, if you think about an object that's not transparent, like my hand, in fact, your hand is slightly transparent, isn't it? So because you can, that's how then blood monitor things work. But or you can
Yeah.
put it over a light and it'll look red. But okay, it's like this
Oh,
microphone
your
case.
eyelids as well.
Yeah, your
For
eyelid.
your
Yeah,
eyelids.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this microphone case then, so actually light goes to the speed of zero when it hits it because it can't penetrate it. But that's just getting technical. But but then I was thinking, but then if light is going through into a diamond and then it comes out, it's going the same speed as it was before it went into the diamond. How is it speeding up again? So yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson actually put a video out on it because I think someone asked him something similar. It was really interesting. So as light hits these dense objects, light is actually still traveling at the speed of light, but because you've got molecules, it takes light to as it hits these molecules, it's picking up like energy and it's slowing it down a little bit, or it's taking its time, sorry, to go round and navigate through these molecules. And then so once it comes out the other side, it's free of the molecules again, and it just carries on at the normal speed. So
So it's actually
Jonesy's go on.
so you say about so go first. Finish Jonesy. What are you going to say
Yeah,
about that?
Jonesy said it's because photons have to bend around Yeah, there you go. Jonesy was just saying exactly what. Yeah,
So
yeah.
you said you
So
can
it's
slow
got
it
it's got
down.
to take it's got to take a longer route around.
But then
Yeah,
there's the opposite. We can actually go faster by surfing the wave because I think Neil deGrasse Tyson said the same thing. We can actually go faster than the speed of light if we travel on a wave, if we can manipulate basically the fabric of space. And that's where
yeah.
they talk about time travel, where because
Folding space, folding
so
space. You could
it's
go
like it's like a wave. Space is like a wave. They say we just travel on top of it, so
right.
we can travel faster than the speed of light. Obviously, we don't have the technology, but the mathematics make sense.
Yeah, I think it's theoretical because he did say that several studies, several experiments, and theory is that speed of light is the speed limit basically.
That's
So
that we know. But even though outside the universe, speed of light is faster, if for some reason in our physics, in our laws of physics and this universe, we can't travel the faster than
yeah,
speed of light. But what do you think? You talk about speed of light. So what do you think the connection with the pyramids? Because the pyramids have the same dimension as the speed of light. Do you think that's just bollocks, or do you think it's something in that? Have you seen it where the pyramid have the same dimensions as the speed of light?
the apparently the top of the Pyramid of Giza when you because the w- the way we measure the angle around the planet
Yep.
uh is in minutes and degrees, isn't it?
In
So
degrees, is it? Yeah.
yeah, it's in minutes and yes, yeah. So those degrees, the planet is split up in degrees, and it starts at the line at Greenwich, and it goes all the way around and comes back to the line at Greenwich. Yeah. So you get this from geocaching when you're looking at when you have to look at specific coordinates. So the coordinates of the Pyramid of Giza, which was built 4,000 years ago, we're going to say, what was it, 3,000?
We're going to say 4.5, 5,000
Four.
years
All
ago.
right, okay.
That's up for
Uh,
debate as well.
okay, all right. So, but it's no younger than 4,000, is it? It's no younger than
No,
3,000. It's no younger than 2,000. Okay, right. So that the location of the top of that pyramid that we quote, which will be 186 something something something, happens to be very close, but it's not accurate to the speed of light. But let's just round it up and say it's spot on. The only reason the degree of the top of the pyramid is that degree is because where we chose. to start counting on the face of the earth, which was Greenwich Mean Time. What if what if Greenwich Mean Time wasn't at Greenwich? What if it was in uh,
Washington.
well, yeah, well, I don't. I think we chose it before America was discovered. But what if it was in Germany? What if a German come up with it and it was in Berlin? Or what if a Chinaman come up with it and it was in Peking or something like that, Beijing, whatever.
So you should say
It,
it's a big coincidence then.
it's obviously a coincidence, isn't it? Because how could they build a pyramid knowing that we were going to pick Greenwich, the Greenwich Mean Line, as where we're going to start counting the coordinates from?
Because Graham Hancock would completely disagree with you. Have you read any Graham Hancock's literature
No,
on this?
no,
He's wrote loads of books on the pyramids. It's sort of like the angle. Uh, if you, I think the way degrees. Keep the numbers
It's
72.
nice.
So
It's nice when you go looking for stats to back up a theory that you've got in your head, and you can just find anything and go 186. Oh, I know something else that's 186, the speed of light. Therefore, I'll use that as evidence. Oh, there's something else about 186, or there's something else about a 46-degree angle. I'll use that.
but
Or
you
there's,
could actually
you
manipulate
know,
stats and mathematics to
it's
bend it
not
to
about
your
it's not about manipulating him. It's about him cherry picking facts. I mean, I don't know what he's trying to say, but it's about him
I
cherry
will load
picking
it onto the
facts.
our social forum because I've got like a 4 minute video of him to explain it, which obviously he'll explain a lot better than me. But it's very interesting the way he breaks it down for a lot of people, how it works, how
Yeah,
the we get these structures of the pyramids, and it
yeah,
lines up with the Orion's belt as well. And all
yeah.
them, I don't think it's all a coincidence because clearly they had knowledge of architecture, astrology, and mathematics. So they weren't a lot of people. I don't think anyone's ever called them ignorant species, but they were very clearly intelligent people.
Yeah, I don't deny that. I don't deny that. I mean, but also they made mistakes. Look at that pyramid that it starts like that, and then they worked out, oh, actually, it's going to be too tall, so they had to put a bit. So it goes like that, and then it bends in, and they changed the angle of it because they worked out it was going to be. They started building it, and they worked out actually we've not got our sides steep enough.
So they
Uh,
manipulate.
yeah, so they manipulate the pyramid. Literally, it goes like that. It's like a it's like a weird,
Here's one for you
yeah,
then. So, why do you think all our ancestors from across the globe built pyramids? Why that shape? Because there's a guy
triangle's
who
one of the strongest shapes in it.
yeah, it's very strong, but that was one of the designs that all our ancient forefathers built. I remember a guy called Joseph Parr. He did experiments on the pyramids and terms like the amount of energy the pyramid would generate. You know, this obviously if you've got like a pyramid, obviously it's a different podcast, but if you
Is
got a
this like
pyramid,
leaving a razor blade inside a pyramid and it gets sharper? Are you gonna
no,
tell me that?
no, it's the energy. It creates energy. A pyramid creates energy. There's a guy called. I'm sure the chat room might correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure it's called Joseph Parr. Parr spelled Parr. I've read books on it. He's an engineer. I think he died in the 80s, but he pretty much works on pyramids. Why that shape? Why that style? And it creates a certain kind of energy, some kind of vortex it created. But
Right.
you don't believe in any of that, do you?
I don't know. Is it energy that you can plug a meter into and get a reading? I mean,
Well,
I had a
that's
mate that
what it
was
is.
into all
It's the
this.
hollow. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I had a mate that was into all this, and he was like, "Oh yeah, people were doing yoga inside pyramids. People were leaving razor blades because it kept your razor sharper if you left it in a pyramid, and all this sort of rubbish." And I was like, "What?" I say rubbish, but I was just like, "What? Come on, mate."
Obviously, we'll have to have a podcast on this one on the pyramids. But just,
I've got pyramids on the list. Actually, there's some
I've got
pyramids
so
that
much to
you've
do.
not mentioned yet, and I want to cover.
Is I know
So,
I know quite a few Egyptologists they call them, yeah. So I know quite a few friends who are completely into that kind of
all
stuff.
right,
So I have to tap into their knowledge. But just to sort of digress on the you're talking about the speed of light is I know
yeah,
it evolves back to what you talked before about the films and obviously pyramids and space and people talk about simulations because obviously a lot of people talk about the pyramids could be a connection to another universe or another parallel universe. I was reading a documentary, so I watched a documentary, reading the book. People saying that the Matrix, the film The Matrix, could have been some kind of documentary, and people sort of like should be looking a little bit deeper into it because that what's happening now when they talk about some kind of parallel universe and simulation. it's all inside the matrix. So obviously, I want to tie
Yeah.
in what you talked about because the pyramids, they say it's a connection to another world, and obviously you were talking about films before. Have you ever come across anything like that where they say the Matrix could be some kind of documentary rather than a film?
Not really. I mean, I mean, the Matrix film itself points at the fact that life could be a simulation. You and Nick we've not done it on a podcast, but we've talked about being plugged into a simulation. How do you really know? And all that's it's very interesting the what different ways you can go in terms of it uh, being what you said. Now, I've not heard that specific one. No, no,
What it's I've watched lots of it. I've watched it. So I watched a few times. I've watched things about simulation. It does. It does. It, I won't say it is a documentary, but you can actually look into it. But it's tapping into some kind of knowledge which people are talking about now, like a simulation. But the one thing I find quite interesting, I don't know if you talked about the two directors. Is it Wachowski brothers,
might
the
be.
two brothers?
I can't
Do you
remember.
know they both changed genders to they were both men. They both switched to women.
Really, I didn't know
Yeah,
that. Didn't
I
know
think they
that.
were called and I can't remember Andy and Dave. I'm not sure, but I'm sure it's one's Andy. I can't
Andy
remember
and
the other one.
Carlos.
Andy and Carlos. And what I know they switched their names to Lily and Lana. They both changed transgender.
Wow, no, I never knew that. Never knew that
It's,
one.
that's an interesting fact of the day.
Is
But no,
that
I
might
just
be
want to
just
throw
that
that
might
in
just
because
be to get the numbers up for women directors, on the I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
but
Sorry, sorry,
that's
dude.
something to talk. It's just something we need to talk about simulations. Definitely talk about
Yeah,
simulations.
man. I was laughing as you were talking because I saw Jonesy's comment. Then he's gone. Pyramids are strong. Evidence is eating a Toblerone, the world's deadliest chocolate. Yeah, that's very funny, man. Very funny. Cheers for that. Uh, cool, man. I'm not sure how long we've been running. Oh, we've gone an
Over an
hour
hour.
and six, but that includes the 10-minute bit at the beginning. I'm gonna try something. Obviously, we're very new to Twitch. I need a lesson off Jonesy. I'm gonna try and raid a channel. I was actually gonna raid Jonesy's channel, but he finished streaming before we did. So, um, yeah, Jonesy in the chat room was gaming earlier, so I was on for about half an hour before we started. Uh, right, I'm gonna try and raid it. So raiding the channel, Carlos. You've no idea what I'm talking about, have you?
I've clear what you're talking
So
about. Yeah.
okay, so we've got 5 viewers at the moment, including us. So if I try and raid a channel, oh, pick a channel that you follow. Pick a live. Oh, no one's live that I follow. I think I need to go and follow some more. Okay, so the raid's off then. I didn't realize you had to be a follower.
Was that really just jump in with their channel or something?
Basically, yeah. So Jonesy came over with his 10 followers, and he just brings everyone across to your channel. So I'll have to go and follow some more channels that stream later on a Sunday night. Uh, I mean, potentially I could go and try and find one now and follow it, but
I'm losing you, mate. Are you all right?
yeah. Well, I won't waste it. I won't waste our time. It's you again. It's your internet again. It's not paid his bill.
Oh, I apologize.
It's all right, man. All right, well, dude, we'll cut it off there anyway. So, yeah, thanks to Bobby, thanks to Glenn, thanks to Jonesy, thanks to everyone else sticking around, and yeah, catch us next time. We're recording on Wednesday. We're recording our live podcast. So yeah, Bobby, ask us your question about the moon on that one, and we'll definitely answer it on the podcast. And we're just going to be talking about our other. Uh, well, we're going to be reminiscing about our previous episodes, basically. So yeah. Thanks for the follow. We just had a follow off N3 Tamesy. I'm struggling to say that. Thanks, N3. Um, appreciate it. And yeah,
I, Andy, I'm lost. You know.
no worries, man. I'm going to kill the stream. All right, guys. Carlos is gone. He's on one. Thanks for watching. Bye.